मीडिया वेज ਦੇ ਪਲੇਟਫਾਰਮ ਤੋਂ ਖਬਰਾਂ ਦਾ ਲੇਖਾ ਜੋਖਾ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਦੇ ਅੰਤਰਗਤ ਆਪ ਸਭ ਦਾ ਸਵਾਗਤ ਹੈ ਜੀ ਆਇਆਂ ਨੂੰ।
Khabran Da Lekha Jokha program June 19, 2024 has been sponsored by Hanif Litigation. Any criminal or regulatory law matters, contact lawyer Shahid Hanif, Hanif Litigation 604-626-3144. Surrey homicide victim ID'd. Father says daughter was victim of senseless violence. The father of the victim in Sunday's homicide in Surrey is speaking out, sharing his devastation at the loss of his daughter to what he calls senseless violence. Aaron Dunn took to social media to say his daughter Tori was loved by all. She met and devoted her time and love to her friends and family. On 16th June 2024, Tori Dunn was victim to a home invasion that resulted in her death. We, her family, cannot begin to understand how someone as kind as Tori could be victim to such senseless violence, Aaron shared. She was someone who lit up the room with her smile and laugh. She is loved more than words. Mountie shared on Monday that around 10 p.m. Sunday, police were called to a home on 182nd A Street near 98th Avenue after reports of a woman with life-threatening injuries. Despite being transported to hospital, the woman died from her injuries. On Tuesday, Premier David Eby was asked about the violent death, as some believe the arrested suspect, who hasn't been named, was out on bail. Eby said BC has joined Ontario to pressure the federal government to change bail rules further. He says despite changes to bail rules, harmful people are still being released back into the community. Despite being successful ultimately after an extended period in getting the federal government to change those rules, we are still seeing release that people back into community and they're causing harm. They're hurting people, Eby said. Where we are able to identify some people that present a risk to community in this way, we've got a new program where police, social worker, Crown Council and probation officers work together to track these individuals in community whenever they are released and to ensure that when they are arrested, the court has the full set of information to detain some people and ensure they are not presenting a risk to the community. Aaron Dunn shared that a vigil in Tori's honor will be held on Saturday, June 22nd at Surrey Band Regional Park. We encourage all those whose lives were touched by Tori to come share a memory of her in a balloon releasing, he said.
ਇਹ ਬਹੁਤ ਮੰਦਭਾਗੀ ਘਟਨਾ ਵਾਪਰੀ ਹੈ।
Very sad.
Very sad. ਸਰੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪਣੇ ਘਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਡਿਨਰ ਵਗੈਰਾ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਜਦੋਂ ਸੌਣ ਦੀਆਂ ਲੋਕ ਤਿਆਰੀਆਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ ਤਕਰੀਬਨ 9 ਵਜੇ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਉਸ ਵਕਤ ਘਰ ਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਦਾਖਲ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਬੇਲ ਤੇ ਛੁੱਟਿਆ ਹੋਇਆ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਦੋਸ਼ੀ ਹੈ ਉਸਨੇ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਮਰਨ ਕਿਨਾਰੇ ਪਹੁੰਚਾ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਔਰ ਉਹਦਾ ਦਮ ਹਸਪਤਾਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਟੁੱਟਿਆ। ਇਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਵਾਲ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਉੱਠਦਾ ਆਸ਼ਾ ਨਾ ਬਾਰ-ਬਾਰ ਗੁਨਾਹ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਲੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਦੋਸ਼ੀ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬੇਲ ਤੇ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਉਹ ਫੇਰ ਸਮਾਜ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆ ਕੇ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਘਟਨਾਵਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਾਰਾ ਇਲਜ਼ਾਮ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ, ਜਿਹਦੇ ਲਈ ਫੈਡਰਲ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਾਇਦੇ ਕਾਨੂੰਨ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਤਬਦੀਲੀ ਕਰਨੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਹੈ।
Bilkul, it's very important. Surrey mother unsure of how to get her kids to school as district shares bus services. A mother from Surrey doesn't know when she'll get her kids to school in September as the school district is forced to slash some bus service due to budget shortfalls. In early May, the school board of Surrey passed a budget that included extending days for 6 schools, moving some non-enrolling teachers back into the classroom and changing student bus service. Now Jessica Norman, a mother of 2, doesn't know what to do. Norman's eldest is going into grade 11 in the fall while the youngest is going into grade 8. Both are specialized programs for neurodiverse students and those with mental health designations like anxiety and depression. They've been denied bus service. I'm still trying to figure out why on that, because both technically qualify for bus service based on what the district is using based on what's allowed and what's not, she explains. Norman, who's a single mother, says she works full-time and doesn't have help to get her kid to and from class. That bus service was a game changer for me. Just the fact that it comes directly to our house and directly to their schools. They have buses within the school district that drive neurotypical children to and from school. So they're taking kids who don't have needs necessarily to some of the bigger schools. She has both schools are too far to walk for her children, and she's not comfortable having them take transit alone right now. We should be able to have our kids being taken to school safely, in my opinion. Bus service is a barrier for parents. For them not to have the service, lots of us are working, lots of us are dealing with multiple things and multiple challenges, and to have one more thing that we have to fight for is exhausting and super frustrating. Norman has been in communication with Surrey schools and says she isn't satisfied with any response she's received so far.
ਅਸ਼ਨਾ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਸਕੂਲ ਤੱਕ ਪਹੁੰਚਾਉਣ ਵਾਲੀਆਂ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਬੱਸ ਸਰਵਿਸ ਹੈ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆ ਬੰਦਸ਼ ਆ ਬੰਦ ਹੋ ਜਾਣਾ ਕਿਸੇ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਵੀ ਬੜਾ ਮੁਸ਼ਕਲ ਆ, ਖਾਸ ਤੌਰ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਸਿੰਗਲ ਮਾਮ ਹੋਵੇ ਔਰ ਬੱਚੇ ਨੂੰ ਖਾਸ ਹਦਾਇਤਾਂ ਦੇ ਤਹਿਤ ਸਕੂਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਲਿਜਾਣ ਦੀ ਔਰ ਸਕੂਲ ਤੋਂ ਛੱਡਣ ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਪ੍ਰਕਿਰਿਆ ਹੈ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦਾ ਵਿਘਨ ਪਵੇ ਔਰ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਵਿਅਕਤੀ ਹੈ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਪਸੰਦ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦਾ। ਵੈਸੇ ਸਰੀ ਸਕੂਲ ਡਿਸਟ੍ਰਿਕਟ ਬੋਰਡ ਨੂੰ ਇਸ ਦੇ ਪ੍ਰਤੀ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਤਵੱਜੋ ਦੇਣ ਦੀ ਜ਼ਰੂਰਤ ਹੈ।
Stanley Cup final returning to Edmonton after Oilers hold on for 5-3 game 5 victory. What seemed awfully unlikely just 3 days ago in one game closer to reality. The Edmonton Oilers are one win away from leveling the Stanley Cup final after defeating the Florida Panthers 5-3 in game 5. The Edmonton Oilers are one win away. Florida leads the best of 7 series 3-2 with Game 6 being played Friday night at Edmonton's Rogers Place. The Oilers are looking to become only the second team after the 1942 Toronto Maple Leafs to overcome a 3-0 deficit in the final to hoist the Stanley Cup. Edmonton captain Connor McDavid was the team's offensive powerhouse once again, adding 2 goals and 2 assists to his already impressive points total. If he puts this team on his back, said Corey Perry of McDavid, when we're against the wall, he puts us on his back and he plays. You see why he's the best player?
ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਆਸ਼ਨਾ ਜੂਨ ਦਾ ਮਹੀਨਾ ਔਰ ਸਟੈਨਲੀ ਕੱਪ ਦੀਆਂ ਖੇਡਾਂ ਔਰ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਇਲਰਸ ਦਾ ਇੱਕ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਬਿਹਤਰ ਪੋਜੀਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਕੈਨੇਡੀਅਨ ਟੀਮ ਦਾ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਜਾਣਾ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਹਾਣੀ ਬਣਿਆ ਹੋਇਆ। ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਅਗਲੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਗੇਮ ਆ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਸ ਪੂਰੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਜਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ।
ਬਿਲਕੁਲ। Health Minister says he aims to launch National Pharmacare program by next April. Health Minister Mark Holland says he hopes to launch a national pharmacare program by April 1st of 2025. The pharmacare bill drafted by the Liberals and the NDP has made its way through the House of Commons but still needs to be studied by the Senate. The idea is to make both control and diabetes medication available to anyone with a health card as part of a universal single-player program. The Liberals budgeted $1.5 billion for the program over 5 years. Once the bill receives royal assent, Holland can start negotiating deals with provinces and territories to administer the program. But he says he's not waiting until then to start talking to his provincial and territorial counterparts about what those deals could look like.
ਫਾਰਮਾਕੇਅਰ ਦਾ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਦੀ ਸ਼ੁਰੂਆਤ 1 ਅਪ੍ਰੈਲ 2025 ਤੋਂ ਹੋਣ ਬਾਰੇ ਮੰਤਰਾਲਾ ਮੰਤਰੀ ਨੇ ਬੇਸ਼ੱਕ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਘੋਸ਼ਣਾਵਾਂ ਕਰ ਦਿੱਤੀਆਂ ਨੇ, ਪਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਇਹ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਕਿ ਉਸ ਦਿਨ ਦੀ ਉਡੀਕ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਨੀ ਬਲਕਿ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਹੀ ਸੂਬੇ ਅਤੇ ਟੈਰੀਟਰੀਜ਼ ਦੇ ਮੁਖੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋ ਗਈ ਹੈ।
Canada's population grew to top 41 million in the first quarter, Stat Canada. Statistics Canada says the country's population topped 41 million people in the first quarter of this year as it grew by 0.6%. The agency says the population has reached 41 million on April 1st, a gain of 242,673 people in the first 3 months of the year. Statistics Canada said the increase came as the country welcomed 121,758 immigrants in the first quarter. Net immigration amounted to 12,613 people for the quarter. Canada also added 131,810 non-permanent residents to the population. Statistics Canada noted that for temporary immigration, most of the growth happened before an announcement that caps would be placed on the number of permits issued to non-permanent residents in 2024.
स्टैटिस्टिक कैनेडा ने अपने अंकड़े नशर करते हुए खुलासा कर दिता कि कैनेडा की आबादी 41 मिलियन तो ऊपर पहुंच गई है और याद रहे ये खास तौर पर टैंपरेरी वर्कर्स या नवे इमीग्रेंट्स के उत्ते पैण वाली जी टैप है उस तो ऐलाननामे तो पहला दी है और 1 अप्रैल तो पहला जी बसों है टोटल वो 41 मिलियन तो ऊपर कैनेडा के वासी हो गए ने आशा नहीं
जी Metro Vancouver to initiate independent review of North Shore treatment plant. After weeks of increasing pressure, the Metro Vancouver Regional District says it will begin an independent review of the North Shore wastewater treatment plant. Last week, 7 regional city councillors representing 5 different cities penned an open letter calling on BC's Auditor General to conduct an independent review of Metro Vancouver and the ballooning cost of the plant. 3 months ago, it was revealed the estimated cost of building the facility had jumped by $700 million to $3.86 billion. George Harvey, chair of the MVRD, shared a statement Tuesday that the board has heard the concerns about the cost blowout. We are actually aware of the concerns around how the updated cost to deliver the North Shore wastewater treatment plant program will impact residents of this region, he explained. Since announcing the cost estimate for the North Shore wastewater treatment plant program, we've heard concerns about whether Metro Vancouver is managing costs effectively for the public. We take these concerns seriously, and as such, the chair of the board, I am initiating an independent review of the North Shore wastewater treatment plant program cost, Harvey added.
नॉर्थ शोर वेस्ट वाटर ट्रीटमेंट प्लांट है जिहड़ा आशा ना ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹਦੀ ਕਿ ਕੀਮਤ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸੀ 1 ਬਿਲੀਅਨ ਤੋਂ ਥੱਲੇ ਸੀ 450% ਵੱਧ ਕੇ ਦੀ ਕੀਮਤ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜੀ 4 ਬਿਲੀਅਨ ਦੇ ਕਰੀਬ ਚਲੀ ਗਈ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਲਾਗਤ ਲੱਗਣੀ ਸੀ ਉਸ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਸਰਕਾਰੀ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪੈਸਾ ਉਸ ਦੀ ਵਰਤੋਂ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਉਸ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਸਵਾਲ ਉੱਠੇ ਨੇ ਔਰ जिस ਦੇ ਲਈ ਹੁਣ ਤਫਤੀਸ਼ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ बड़ी ਬਰੀਕੀ ਪੱਧਰ ਤੇ ਹੋਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ है।
इसी के साथ हमें दीजिएगा इजाजत। खबरां दा लेखा जोखा प्रोग्राम से अंटिल नेक्स्ट टाइम, गुड बाय।